Hi, this is Jeff Mesnick. I'm here with the Channel Marketing Journal, and I'm excited to be here talking with Haig Colter, who is the Director of Channels and Alliances for Threat Quotient. How are you doing today?
Hey, Jeff, doing very well, thanks.
Great. So, today, what I'd like to do is kind of start off having you provide us a little bit of an elevator pitch about the company and what you guys do. You're different than a lot of these companies because you're focused on on-prem, and I think people should learn about it.
Sure. So we were founded in 2013 by two people who were working in a security operations center who were frustrated by the lack of tools that were at their disposal to effectively do their jobs. We really fall into a category of tools that are typically used by security operations teams or threat and vulnerability management teams. And companies work with us because they are often overwhelmed by their inability to effectively prioritize threats using the tools they have. They may be concerned that they have the lack of a common platform across their teams to collaborate, or they're just frustrated by the difficulty that they have to take action with the tools that they have. And so our co-founders started Threat Quotient back in 2013, and over the years we've developed a platform that we call ThreatQ, designed specifically to address those concerns and help defenders quickly come to terms with what's happening on their network and what kind of actions that they need to take to remediate those things.
Excellent. So, as the Director of Channel and Alliances, what is your primary objective?
Well, our primary objective is really to delight the customer. We want to make sure that people who are using our tools are happy using our tools and they get value from what we're doing. And that is an end user, somebody who has a technical integration with us, or a channel partner that we're doing business with. The idea is if we are delighting any one of those customers, we are collectively doing a good thing, and that rising tide raises all boats.
So, are you 100% channel, or do you
We are
have?
100% channel.
Oh,
So
great.
we have an executive team that has come from large organizations, sort of you can think of major technology vendors where they've had commitments to the channel. And we recognize the value of working with channel partners where while we may have a very interesting and compelling solution, a channel partner has often a relationship with the purchasing teams, the company that we are selling to, and can help us facilitate getting our product into those companies.
Excellent. So, having worked in the channel before, what have you brought to Threat Quotient that was kind of something that you've learned from maybe a different company that you've worked for, or you've seen, it doesn't have to be from you, maybe you've seen other executives do, that you find is the most valuable?
Certainly, one thing is standardizing processes. Uh, some things that seem very obvious are often lacking in organizations. So things like establishing mutual NDAs, reseller agreements, and then filing them in a place where everyone else in the organization can find them. And that sounds very, very, very basic.
Yep.
But there are times where we have worked with partner organizations who have said to us, we can't seem to find that paper anywhere. Could you please send us the agreement that we apparently established with you? So establishing sort of a simple, repeatable, reliable process to keep track of things like documents, discounts, etc., just making it as easy as possible. Simple things like deal reg, making that available from our public-facing website so a partner can very easily register a deal without having to download a form, fill it out, scan it, and email it back in. Little things like that just seem to go a very long way.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that you say that. I just still see so many vendors with these big portal technologies, and they're trying to, oh, but we're going to put everything in one place and you could find everything. And I kind of look at it, I'm like, there's a reason why all these software companies develop to try to solve specific challenges because they want to keep you focused in on the problem. Why are you doing this? What's your take on that?
I think some of those channel portal technologies are very, very good for dissemination of information and helping with things like training, battle cards, etc. But I think just throwing everything into a portal like that and saying to a potential partner, everything you need is on the portal, is not an effective way to manage the relationships with the people that you're doing business with. So while I do see some value, I think that having a degree of direct touch and a relationship is helpful. But also, responsiveness is probably the most important thing. So if somebody is asking you to do something that will help you collectively win business, it's important to be responsive, regardless of the tool that you're using to deliver that information back.
Excellent. I like that a lot. That's pretty good. So why don't you share with us a little bit about one maybe specific situation where you and a channel partner, you and a few different channel partners have been able to really drive some great success together. Is there anything that kind of stands out in your mind?
Well, the world that we're in revolves around cyber threat intelligence as well. So we work very closely with companies that provide cyber threat intelligence. We are the place to put that intelligence, curate it, and determine if there's something malicious in the environment. And when it comes to working with channel partners, I think some of the success we've had is really tied to understanding requirements, and they may be from a governmental entity, a very large organization or financial institution who has very specific requirements. And it's always wonderful to work with a partner who sort of has that aha or eureka moment where they can say, I believe, based on what I know from ThreatQ and these other people, that we can respond to this RFI and win. And so when we have collaborative effort like that, it's really wonderful and rewarding to be able to deliver a solution that meets the requirements for a common customer, where we recognize we are not a silver bullet, a standalone product that somehow solves everybody's problems. But when we work with a very good and engaged channel partner, they can understand that to make this recipe work, we are one of the ingredients with some other technology vendors that may help provide a total solution and meet the requirements of that company. So it's really great working with companies and channel partners who understand a product portfolio and where we may fit and where we may collectively win.
So that's a good point. You brought up, working with other vendors to kind of create a big solution. And we always talk about how the strategic partnerships drive a lot of business. So when your partners do team you up with other companies, what are the big companies that they really find, you guys work best with?
So we've worked with some very large systems integrators around the world, but then in the commercial software space, we've done quite a few projects with companies like McAfee, Cisco, to name a few, and we will continue to work with managed security service providers as well, where we recognize that while our customer is typically a security operations center or that SOC team, there are plenty of companies who recognize that they have a need, but not necessarily all of the skills in-house. So partnering with a managed security service provider is a logical way to deliver a solution to somebody who knows that they need something, but they may not have all of the skills in-house to do it. So I would say into that mix, partnering with managed security service providers is pretty critical for us as well.
So I like that. I mean, it's really, you guys have really put together what it sounds to me like the reality of scale, right? When you bring a partner program together, you're really trying to scale out yourselves so that you can support as many businesses as possible. So it sounds to me like that's where you guys are mostly headed.
Yeah, certainly I would say a Global 1000 is typically the kind of purchaser of our solution because they usually have a relatively mature SOC team. They have established processes in place. Mm-hmm. But then after that, I think there is a tier of companies who have some, but maybe not all of those pieces in place, and that they may rely on a managed security service provider for things like weekends and off hours support, and where they have gaps in their skills. So it's certainly a way for us to help address more of the market.
That's great. So to end our interview, what I always like to do is ask a question about business travel, or usually it's for some other questions too, but we'll talk about that for right now. You and I both travel a lot on business. We got to meet partners. We got to meet other companies. Where is your favorite, or maybe it's your least favorite destination to go to for business travel?
So I'll end on a positive. I would say I've done a fair amount of travel to Vegas in a very short space of time, and I would say that traveling to Vegas with a laptop is not my ideal scenario. But I would say from interesting place to go where I absolutely enjoy pretty much every part of the trip is Singapore. I think the the skyline there is beautiful. The food is incredible, and we actually have quite a bit of business in the region. So I quite enjoy going to Singapore.
Oh, that's great. And that's a long run. That's a long flight. Where are you based?
We're based in the Washington D.C. metro area, so it takes a long time to get there and a long time to get back, but it's still worth it.
Oh, absolutely. Well, thank you so very much. I really appreciate the time. And hopefully you and I can keep in contact. I'd love to hear how things progress for your company.
Absolutely, Jeff. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
All right. Well, this has been Jeff Mesnick with Channel Marketing Journal, and I was here with Haig Colter, Director of Channels and Alliances for Threat Quotient. Thank you very much.
Thank you.